20 child celebs who aged horribly bad, then and now 2025 child stars who were icons of their time. 3. Macaulay Culkin, the Home Alone boy and the price of a stolen childhood. When talking about the most famous child star of the 90s, it would be remiss not to mention Macaulay Culkin, the boy with the bright eyes and sly smile who became a global Christmas symbol through the series Home Alone. At only 10 years old, Macaulay became one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. Success came like a whirlwind. $100 million movies, endless advertising contracts, millions of fans around the world. But behind the halo, there was a childhood without a childhood. Macaulay was managed by his own father like a money printing machine. He was not allowed to go to school like other children, had no time to play, was not allowed to be tired. His entire childhood revolved around cameras, scripts, and the harsh expectations of his family. When he was a teenager, Macaulay suddenly withdrew from Hollywood. No more movies, no more lights, and no more innocence. Worse, he had to sue his own parents to protect his personal property. A heartbreaking thing that no child should have to go through. Years later, people saw images of Macaulay thin, haggard, once caught up in rumors of drug addiction and mental crisis. Fans regretted a talent that blossomed and faded so quickly, but then Culkin did not give up. He quietly returned to art, but in his own way, independent, gentle, and no longer needing to please the world. Macaulay now lives a private life, has his first son with Brenda Song, also a former Disney star, and is gradually finding peace after years of turmoil. Perhaps for Macaulay, fame is not a dream, but a burden. And the boy who was home alone that day had to wait a long time before he could truly be alone in the true sense. No cameras, no script, no one controlling his life anymore. 4. Taylor Momsen. From Christmas muse to rebellious rock goddess, Taylor Momsen first made a strong impression with the role of Cindy Lou Who in the movie How the Grinch Stole Christmas, 2000, when she was only 7 years old. Her angelic face, innocent eyes, and clear voice turned Taylor into a Christmas icon in the hearts of many audiences for many years. But that was just the starting point. When she grew up, Taylor continued to conquer the small screen with the role of Jenny Humphrey in the hit series Gossip Girl. Initially still carrying the image of a good girl, both the character and Taylor in real life soon changed. Rebellious, individualistic, and not bound by stereotypes. In 2011, Taylor Momsen surprised everyone when she completely gave up acting to pursue music. She founded the band The Pretty Reckless and quickly shaped her own image as a rock queen, strong, wild, and full of energy. Today, Cindy Lou, who is hardly recognizable as the tattooed rocker with a rebellious stage presence. But that's not a loss. It's a courageous journey of growth. Taylor Momsen has chosen her own path and is more true to herself than ever, even though it makes her different in the public eye. 17. Jeremy Miller. When childhood smiles must face harsh reality, Jeremy Miller, a familiar name to TV audiences in the 80s, captured the hearts of viewers through the role of Ben Seaver in Growing Pains. With a bright smile and cute features, Jeremy was the youngest brother in the Seaver family that audiences loved. His role helped him become one of the outstanding young stars of that time. However, when the film ended, Jeremy's career journey was not easy. While his colleagues such as Kirk Cameron or Leonardo DiCaprio continued to shine, Jeremy could not overcome the competition and pressure of Hollywood. In addition, the change in appearance when he grew up also made him less noticed. Unlike other stars, Jeremy chose a different path. After leaving Hollywood, he sought a quiet life, away from the hustle and bustle of the entertainment industry. However, he still kept in touch with the entertainment industry through guest appearances and small projects. However, the image of Ben Seaver is always associated with his name in the hearts of audiences. In addition to his career, Jeremy also faced difficulties in his personal life, including dealing with health issues and life changes. But instead of letting them drag him down, he chose to focus on his family and health, affirming that life can always change as long as you persevere and know how to adjust. 18. Lindsay Lohan, from Hollywood princess to new life. Lindsay Lohan, a prominent star of Hollywood in the 2000s, captivated audiences through films such as The Parent Trap, Mean Girls, and Freaky Friday. She is a teenage icon, a familiar face of Disney with innocent beauty and a cute personality. However, her early fame has complicated her life. Pressure from the media and personal problems have caused Lindsay's career to decline rapidly. Outside of her roles, Lindsay has been caught up in scandals, addictions, and scandals that the media always hunts for. The image of a beautiful and innocent girl is no longer there, replaced by a tired Lindsay, clearly changed over the years. However, she did not give up. Lindsay tried many times to come back, participating in small film projects, but could not regain her former glory. Recently, she chose a quieter life, moving abroad, away from the spotlight. Starting over with a romantic comedy project on Netflix, Lindsay proved that, despite her past failures, she is still resilient to move forward. Lindsay's journey is proof that falling down doesn't mean you can't get back up, and that she can still rewrite her life story. 19. Hannah Montana. When the Disney dream became a golden cage, Miley Cyrus entered the entertainment world when she was just a 13-year-old girl. But unlike many other children, she did not take small steps, but immediately stepped up to the top of glory with the role of a lifetime. Hannah Montana. The Disney movie is about a girl who lives two lives. During the day, she is Miley Stewart, a normal student. At night, she transforms into the music star Hannah Montana with bright blonde hair and sparkling stage lights. It is that image that has turned her into a global teen icon. Each episode has millions of views. Each music album has millions of copies sold. Miley is not just a character. She is a part of the memories of an entire generation. But behind the bright lights, there is a bitter truth. Miley is not living as herself. The older she gets, the more she finds herself trapped in the image of the perfect girl that Disney has built. She was not allowed to make mistakes, not allowed to rebel, not allowed to mature like other teenagers. Miley's real life was gradually drowned by public expectations and the tight control of the entertainment industry. When Hannah Montana ended in 2011, Miley did not choose to retreat gently. She broke all limits, cut her hair short, dressed boldly, made shocking statements, and especially the music video Wrecking Ball, where she completely transformed from her old image. People called her a rebel, a fallen symbol of Disney, but in fact, that was the real Miley, the first time she dared to live the way she wanted. Miley once shared, "Hannah Montana's a role. I am grateful for it, but I can't be her forever." Now in her 30s, Miley has become a mature, strong, and free artist. No need to pretend to be perfect. She still sings, still creates, but this time, not to please Disney or the audience, but to express herself. From a child living in a stereotype to a woman who dares to break all limits, Miley Cyrus, or Hannah Montana of the past, has proven growing up is not about betraying the past, but bravely breaking free from it to be yourself. 20. Selena Gomez, the Little Witch and her journey to adulthood amidst invisible wounds. Selena Gomez was once a familiar face to millions of teenage audiences around the world. She was first known through the children's show Barney and Friends, but it was not until she transformed into Alex Russo, the smart, mischievous little witch in the hit series Wizards of Waverly Place, that Selena really rose to fame. From a simple Texas girl, Selena quickly became Disney's top child star. She not only acted but also sang, acted in movies, participated in commercials. All of this happened when she was still a teenager, and almost no one saw the pressure Selena had to bear behind that bright smile. After leaving Disney, Selena did not choose the rebellious path like some other child stars. She gradually built a more mature, gentle, and sophisticated image. However, fame comes with loneliness, and Selena soon faced a series of crises: public pressure, noisy love affairs, scrutiny from the media, and especially the terrible lupus, the disease that forced her to have a kidney transplant to maintain her life. There were years when Selena almost disappeared from the spotlight. People speculated, criticized, and even ridiculed her silence. But few people knew that she was battling depression, anxiety disorder, and silent psychological treatment. Selena once said in tears, "I used to think I was not good enough. I used to think I was not worthy of being loved." However, it was from those broken and hurtful things that Selena stood up, stronger and more courageous. She returned to music, using her own experiences to write emotional songs like "Lose You to Love Me," not to blame anyone, but to heal herself. She also became one of the first artists to speak publicly about mental health, admitting that she needed help, and in doing so, became a voice for millions of young people who were silently suffering like her. Now, at the age of 30, Selena Gomez is no longer the little witch of yesteryear, but a strong, deep woman who knows how to appreciate the wounds that have made her who she is. Without being loud or ostentatious, she is proof that growing up is not about changing, but learning to love yourself, even when you are not perfect. D to introduce much. Britney Spears was one of the most prominent pop culture icons of the 90s and early 2000s. With her innocent looks, catchy voice, and explosive performance style, she entered the music industry like a storm and quickly reached the peak of glory with classic hits like Baby One More Time and Toxic. Britney is everything people expect from a female star: young, attractive, and seemingly perfect. She is not only a singer, but also a symbol of youthful beauty, of controlled rebellion, of the spotlight that everyone wants to touch. However, what people rarely see is the loneliness behind that light. Being a star since she was a teenager, Britney grew up in an environment where every moment was monitored. There was no personal space, no mistakes allowed. And then when faced with personal events, from love affairs, marriage, to becoming a mother, everything seemed to collapse at once. The media attention did not decrease, but became more severe than ever. Sensational headlines, candid photos, and analyses of downfall became invisible cuts that Britney had to brace herself to survive. Personal decisions, which for normal people probably would not have paid attention to, became the topic of discussion for the whole world. The climax was the period when she was deprived of her autonomy in life, having to live under guardianship for more than a decade. Although the number Free Britney movement later helped her regain her freedom, those years left many scars, not only in terms of image, but more deeply in her soul. Today, Britney still makes audiences admire her extraordinary strength and determination. She is no longer the pop princess she once was, but a woman who has gone through enough storms to understand that being true to yourself sometimes is the pinnacle of freedom. 2. Edward Furlong. From Hollywood's golden boy to the harmony of mistakes and redemptions. If you are a fan of 90s action movies, you certainly cannot forget the image of the smart, sassy, but emotional boy John Connor in Terminator 2, Judgment Day. At that time, Edward Furlong was only 13 years old, but his natural acting ability and cinematic face immediately made Hollywood give him a golden ticket. Edward's career continued to shine after that, with roles in American History X, Little Odessa, Pecker. He was once expected to become one of Hollywood's leading actors, but the road to glory has never been all light. After the resounding success with the role of John Connor in Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Edward Furlong was once considered one of the most potential child stars in Hollywood. With an intelligent face, carefree but profound eyes, he quickly won the hearts of viewers and was expected to go far in the film industry. However, like many young stars who become famous too early, Edward faced no small amount of pressure from fame. In the following years, he experienced many personal events, including legal problems and addiction. His film career gradually slipped away, and his image in the public eye also changed over the years. However, Edward never gave up. He tried to come back. Although he no longer had the big roles like before, the small roles he participated in all carried with them the sincerity and desire to reconnect with the audience. In the hearts of fans, the image of the boy John Connor always lives on, and Edward's journey to find himself is proof that, no matter how cruel the past is, people can still stand up and rewrite their own stories. 14. Danny Bonaduce. From a smart boy to a journey of fighting to live, Danny Bonaduce once captivated the whole of America with his role as Danny Partridge in The Partridge Family. However, behind the childhood glory is a life full of chaos. After the show ended, Danny fell into addiction, mental disorder, and was homeless for a time, wandering the streets. The once smart boy has now become a seasoned man, bearing many traces of the harsh years. But what is special about Danny is that he never completely collapsed. After many years of struggling, he found a new path as a radio host, gradually quitting his addiction and living a healthier life. Danny's journey is not perfect, but it is his honesty and efforts to overcome himself that have always made him loved by the public. He is living proof that, even when everything seems to be falling apart, you can still get up and start again. 15. Brendan Fraser, a real-life silent warrior. Brendan Fraser was once the golden boy of Hollywood in the 90s and 2000s with George of the Jungle, The Mummy, and a series of charming action and comedy roles. But behind that charming smile and strong body is a man who is suffering. Brendan suffered from physical injuries due to too many stunts, psychological trauma from a sexual assault that he had to keep secret for many years, along with a painful divorce and prolonged depression. He gradually disappeared from the screen, making many people think that his career was over. But no, Brendan is back. His role in The Whale not only brought him an Oscar, but also touched the hearts of millions of viewers. He is no longer a handsome star. He is a man who was deeply hurt, but learned to love himself and return to his passion. Brendan's story is a reminder. True talent never dies if you don't give up on yourself. 16. Josh Saviano. When leaving the spotlight is the right choice, audiences love Josh Saviano as Paul Pfeiffer, Kevin's smart, bespectacled friend in the Wonder Years. But after the series ended, Josh did not follow the acting path like many of his co-stars. He completely withdrew from Hollywood. Josh studied law, became a successful lawyer, and lived a peaceful life, away from the scrutiny of the media. For a long time, he was also the focus of a strange conspiracy theory. Paul Pfeiffer is Marilyn Manson. That false rumor only highlighted his decisive decision to leave the stage. Today, Josh Saviano is no longer a celebrity, but he is a role model for those who know how to actively rewrite their destiny, not letting the past control them. His journey proves that sometimes living quietly and succeeding in your chosen field is the greatest victory. 10. Amanda Bynes, a once talented and a journey to find peace. Amanda Bynes was once one of the most beloved actresses on Nickelodeon with The Amanda Show, What I Like About You, and then a series of movies like She's the Man. At the age of 13, she won the Kids' Choice Award thanks to her natural acting talent and charming sense of humor. But then, when her career was at its peak, Amanda suddenly announced her retirement from the entertainment industry in 2010. That withdrawal marked a period of personal crisis. She faced mental health issues, had to undergo treatment, had legal problems, and her appearance changed, making fans worried. Instead of continuing to run after the spotlight, Amanda chose to retreat to heal, both her body and soul. She lives a private life, rarely appears, and is gradually regaining balance. Amanda Bynes is no longer the golden girl of Hollywood in the past, but her courageous journey to face herself is what makes people admire. Because sometimes leaving the spotlight is the way to find the light within 11. Johnny Depp, the romantic and his own shadow Johnny Depp, the name associated with charm, eccentricity, and rare talent. From 21 Jump Street, Crybaby, to the role of Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, Depp not only conquered the audience with his attractive bad boy appearance, but also with his ability to transform into strange and complex characters. However, behind that spotlight is a stormy personal life. In recent years, Johnny has been involved in noisy legal scandals, surrounded by rumors about his health, living habits, and even his deteriorating image. From messy hair, changing body shape, to the smile that was once a symbol now destroyed by time and habits. Yet Depp remains what made audiences love him: his passion for cinema, his mystery, and his inimitable artistic temperament. Though his star power may be fading, Johnny Depp remains an important chapter in the history of cinema, and for many he is more than just an actor. He is a timeless icon. 12. Haley Joel Osment. From the boy who saw ghosts to the man who overcame the darkness. The line "I see dead people" in the movie The Sixth Sense became a cultural icon and catapulted Haley Joel Osment from a supporting role in Forrest Gump to a global star. His incredible acting talent continued to be confirmed through roles in AI, artificial intelligence, and Pay It Forward. However, like many other child stars, Haley entered adulthood with major changes in both appearance and life. The skinny boy of the past has now become a somewhat dusty man with a thick beard, a full body, and experienced eyes. Few people know that behind that change are years of struggling with alcohol and silent psychological trauma. Although he has left the big stage lights, Haley has not given up on art. He continues to act, participating in independent television and film projects, showing maturity in acting. His resilience and constant efforts make the audience who loved him always silently follow and support him. 13. Angus T. Jones. The naughty boy of Hollywood has now chosen peace. With the role of Jake Harper in 2.5 Men, Angus T. Jones was once one of the highest-paid child stars on American television. Angus's natural humor and smart face have made audiences around the world love him. However, at the age of 19, Angus surprised the public when he publicly criticized the movie he participated in as trash and decided to leave the entertainment industry. Since then, the rebellious boy has almost disappeared from Hollywood, choosing to live a private, simple life and pursue spiritual values. Today, Angus has a long beard, shoulder-length hair, and lives far from the spotlight. He is no longer a TV star, but a young man looking for balance in life, something that many child stars have never had the opportunity to touch. Angus's decision, although controversial, shows his courage in rejecting fame to pursue his inner self. 5. Lark Voorhees. The fashion icon of Saved by the Bell and her silent journey. In the 90s, Lark Voorhees was an indispensable face in the hit sitcom Saved by the Bell with the role of Lisa Turtle, a trendy, sharp girl who always appeared in the outfits that every teenage girl wanted to emulate. Alongside Tiffany Amber Thiessen and Elizabeth Berkley, Lark was the embodiment of gentle beauty but full of personality. However, over time, Lark's image has changed a lot, to the point that if you accidentally met her in real life, many people probably wouldn't recognize her. She has faced mental health issues, including schizophrenia, and has been caught up in unpleasant rumors about plastic surgery or stimulants. Although she is no longer involved in many artistic activities, Lark has established her own production company and still quietly pursues her passion behind the scenes. Despite her struggles, audiences still remember her as the radiant Lisa Turtle, a television icon for a generation, and her strength and perseverance in the face of illness is a big part of what makes Lark's journey to adulthood so worthy of celebration. 6. Frankie Muniz. From smart Malcolm to racer, musician, and entrepreneur, Frankie Muniz was one of the most prominent child stars of the early 2000s, with his role as Malcolm in the series Malcolm in the Middle. The role of the genius boy, both smart and funny, brought Frankie a prestigious Emmy nomination and turned him into a teen TV icon. But that success also became a shadow too big for him to escape the old image. Instead of continuing to search for new roles under the pressure of comparison, Frankie chose a separate path. From playing drums in a rock band, participating in professional racing, to running an olive oil business, all demonstrating his versatility and spirit of endless exploration. Along with his career breakthroughs, Frankie has also faced serious health issues, including a mild stroke and partial memory loss, to the point where he can no longer remember the glory days of Malcolm in the Middle. However, he has never let adversity get him down. On the contrary, Frankie Muniz has shown that success is not just about past glory, but the ability to stand up and reinvent yourself, no matter how many times you fall. 7. Corey Feldman, from teen icon to warrior against the dark side of Hollywood. If you were a child of the 80s, you cannot forget Corey Feldman, who left a mark in the hearts of audiences through classic films such as Stand By Me, The Goonies, and The Lost Boys. With his handsome appearance and captivating eyes, he became the crush of millions of young girls at that time. Together with his best friend Corey Haim, they created one of the most powerful duos in teenage Hollywood. However, the halo could not accompany Corey forever. After leaving the center of the film industry, he had to face many events, from internal battles to social issues. Those years not only affected his appearance, but also left a deep mark on his soul. Although no longer the idol of his time, Corey Feldman is now known as someone who dares to stand up and expose the truth, especially the dark side of the entertainment industry that cost him and many of his co-stars dearly. It is that courage and honesty that makes him an admirable person in a very different way, a warrior who never stops fighting for what is right. 8. Shia LaBeouf. The rebellious boy with an inner world, Shia LaBeouf, once made the audience collapse as Louis Stevens on Disney Channel, with his humorous style, unique expressions, and energy like no other. Unlike other child stars who try to maintain a perfect image, Shia stands out thanks to his honesty, a bit impulsive but always full of emotion and depth. Success after success, from Even Stevens to the Transformers series, Shia was expected to be the next generation of Hollywood talent. However, behind the stage lights is a troubled soul. He has been involved in controversy, legal issues, and has withdrawn from the public eye for a long time to treat mental health issues. Despite many setbacks, Shia LaBeouf has not stopped challenging himself. He has returned to artistic roles, independent projects, and philosophical activities that deeply reflect his true self. Although he is no longer the funny Shia boy of the past, he has become an artist who dares to live, dares to express, and dares to correct his own mistakes. 9. Raven-Symoné, from Cosby Girl to independent icon Raven-Symoné, entered the entertainment industry at a very young age with a role on The Cosby Show, then continued to affirm her position when leading the hit series That's So Raven. With her charming comedic style and lively personality, she quickly became the childhood friend of millions of global audiences. But Raven's life has been anything but fun. As an adult, she has faced pressure from the public about her appearance, her personal style, and even her sexuality. Raven has been criticized for her weight, her unique fashion sense, and her outspoken statements as a host on The View. But instead of letting Hollywood dictate who she is, Raven-Symoné chooses to be true to herself. She is strong, bold, and unafraid to challenge old norms. Raven is no longer the innocent Disney Channel girl, but an independent, self-sufficient woman, a symbol of resilience and freedom to express her individuality. Sometimes the truth is darker than fiction, and what you've just seen is only the tip of the iceberg. Who do you think is still hiding shocking secrets? Drop their name in the comments, and they might be featured in our next video. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because even crazier twists are coming your way. See you soon, and remember, in showbiz, the drama never sleeps.